We have, check, it looks like about 30 participants online right now. So I'm going to start out with a question. What is the purpose of a business? Yeah. Ultimately, to make money, right? How do you, so let me give you some stats I want you to think about. There's 28 million small businesses in the United States. Okay? Less than 4% of those businesses will ever break $1 million of revenue. Less than 1 to 2% will ever break 10 million. Okay? We know that most of those businesses fail within the first 5 years. Okay? I think it's like 3 to 4 out of 5 fail within the first 5 years. And then in the second 5, if they make it to 5 years, it almost kills them. The poor little business owner. And then in years 5 to 10, right, that number even goes up, even more fail. Because man, they can't crack this code. They can't figure this out. They can't make enough money, right? The average small business making about $47,000 a year. And no matter where you live in the world, that's just not enough money sometimes to make it. Okay, you can't expand, you can't market, you can't hire anybody, right? And you're stuck in what I would call this vicious cycle of just basically sacrificing your whole life for something that don't really love you back, right? And one of my buddies always said, never love something that won't love you back. Okay? So for me, I did not start off as an entrepreneur. I started off as a basketball coach. I was, a high school teacher. I had a set salary, right? I worked 80 hours a week every week, mainly because I loved doing what I did. I loved coaching kids. I loved trying to win championships. I didn't think about money. I didn't ever say, I wasn't one of those teachers that said, oh my God, we're so underpaid. I literally thought, man, this is the best thing in the world. I get to wake up every day and do what I love doing. I got enough money to have a little condo, right? Nobody ever coached me from 20 to 30 about money. I didn't know the difference between an asset and a liability until I was 31 years old. I never even thought about it, right? If you would have come to me at 25 years old, if Cameron would come to me and say, man, you have so much potential and you could make millions of dollars, I would literally have said to him, why would I want to do that? Like I'm happy. Like I literally didn't even think. Then the way my business started was by default. I wrote a book mainly to help other coaches. Other coaches wouldn't buy it because I was one of their competitors, which I didn't even think about. I really had no idea what I was doing. And then one little business guy got a hold of my book and said, will you come speak to my people because you know how to win? And I'm like, okay. So I went and spoke, thinking I'm just going to go down there and talk for a few minutes, and then I'm going to go back and coach, right? And then he said, will you come back? And I'm like, why would I do that? Like I have a job. I love my job coaching kids. Like I'm a championship basketball. I wasn't a championship coach at that time. I was just starting to win. But I'm like, man, I love what I'm doing. Why would I've got a 2-bedroom condo. I got a decent little car. I'm perfectly happy. Like, why would I even be interested in anything bigger, right? And then they started saying, well, man, we'll pay you to come back. And then they started giving me a check, and that check was more in an hour than I made in a month. Okay? And then I had a big revelation because I wasn't thinking like this. It wasn't like I started a business, said, man, I'm going to go out here and make millions of dollars in this business, right? It literally just happened unintentionally, and I kind of discovered that, man, I have a talent, and that talent can be rewarded. And it really wasn't even about money. It wasn't like I left high school coaching to go make a bunch of money. It was really, I stayed till I'd seen that through to its conclusion. And to be quite honest, I was bored. And I'm like, I've already done everything I can do here. I've won a championship, right? I didn't start the business and say, man, I'm going to become a gazillionaire. Everybody with me? It really started from a very humble beginning of just loving coaching people. Okay? I did not think about the money. I didn't wake up every day and say, I got to hit a sales number every day. You understand what I'm saying? I really just went out to help people. And the more I help people, the more customers I got. And the more customers I got, the next thing you know, I got a business, right? And that business is prospering. And it's actually doing well. And we're making money. And that's really when everything started to change. So I went and bought a book called How to Grow Your Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. And Sharon Lechter wrote that book, who I'm now friends with, which is so weird because I went to buy her books so I could learn some things about money because I didn't know anything about money, right? So I bought Cash Flow Quadrant, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Grow Your Financial IQ, Retire Young, Retire Rich. These were all books that kind of educated me on this is really what money is, which is just really a tool. It's just a piece of paper that is exchanged through value, right? And so how many of you grew up and work to you was, it was kind of ingrained in you that work was a negative? Anybody like that? My dad worked at a factory his whole life. He hated it. He became a manager and supervisor, but he could not wait to retire. Okay, I called him the other day. I said, man, you're the happiest retired person I have ever met in my life. Right? Like, he just loves being retired. Now, my mom is the exact opposite. She is a incredibly hard worker. She's like Martha in the Bible. You know, Mary and Martha, the story of Mary and Martha, where Jesus comes to visit and Mary's serving the food. Martha's busy running around and she's always involved in something. That's my mom. She would be miserable not doing something, right? My dad can go fishing 5 days a week and be incredibly happy, right? So, but I was not raised by my dad. If you know the story, I was raised by my mom. My dad was not really involved in my life early. So I didn't really have any exposure to my father till I was probably 20, 30 years old. And so I didn't have any of his background, any of his skill set, any of his, right? I do genetically, but I was raised really hard. Like, we get up, we go to work every day. We don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses. Like, I don't know how to relax because of that many times. So when I looked at work, a lot of what I heard about work is, oh my God, work is, it's hard. It's something you dread. You know, you live for the weekends, right? It's 9 to 5, and you get off, and then you go live your life. And somewhere along life, I didn't see it that way because remember, I got to wake up from the time I was 18 to literally go do what I love doing every day. So I looked at work like, man, this is awesome. I get to wake up and go do what I love doing, and they actually pay me to do it. Like, this is the coolest thing in the world, right? So when you think about work, the first thing we have to do is we got to change the way we see work, because work is there to serve your life, not really run your life. It is really a tool for you to distribute a talent. So I want you to think about your work, because what we're talking about in the course this month is going into 2022, how do you design your work? How do you redesign your life so that you can spend a lot of time doing what you love doing? So I want you to think of it like this. You have a talent. Probably more than one talent. But I'm going to call it a primary talent. Okay? That talent is unique and specific to you. Right? Like, if we literally put all of our talents on the table in here, and if we could come out here and say, these are our talents, almost every person in this room would have a different talent. It is specific to you, right? Like, you've heard me say, I can't cook, I'm geographically illiterate. Okay, if my car breaks down on the side of the road, I'm calling somebody, okay? Because I don't even know if I've ever changed a flat tire, right? I'm just not mechanically talented. I've never applied any energy there. I don't have a clue how to do it. I'm not good at it, so I just don't even fool with it, right? But I can take a concept, deconstruct that concept, package that concept, and then make money with that concept 12 or 15 different ways. Does everybody see that? That's my talent. Some people would call that coaching people, okay? I actually think it's very specific. So when you think about it, you have a talent. I want you to look at this diagram right here. Basically, first problem with most people is they don't even know what their talents are. Now, when you don't know what your talents are, guess what we end up doing? We go over here and we get a job. Another word for job is occupation. It occupies our time in which we receive a paycheck for. Okay? And because we really don't know what our talent is, and we really don't know what work we're supposed to be doing. Many years ago, there was a book called The Purpose-Driven Life. Any of you buy that book? I bought that book. That book was selling 1 million copies a week. Outside of the Bible, it is one of the biggest selling books ever. Now, it is unheard of, folks, for a book to sell 1 million copies a week. Okay? 90% of all books never sell more than 5,000 copies. That book was selling 1 million a week. Now, the question is why? Why would so many people want to buy a book called The Purpose-Driven Life? Because they're trying to figure something out. What are they trying to figure out? What's my purpose? Is this book going to help me figure out what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm confused. I'm lost. I get up and go to a job I'm not really passionate about. Okay? And I go to a job, and man, that job is just, oh my God, it's kind of miserable, and I don't really like it, and I don't like my boss this much because he's on me all the time to push something and sell something and create something, and I got to show up on time, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, God forbid, I got to get dressed. Right? It's a job. Now, here's the problem with that. If you go down and combo what we teach you, which is 4 parts of our nature, you have a body, that's physical. You have a mind, that's mental, that's IQ. You have a heart, that's emotional, EQ, emotional quotient, and you have a spirit, spiritual quotient. Those are 4 parts of your nature. Okay? Now, what's the problem, John Hart, with this part right here as it relates to this model? Any idea? If you're just in a job, doesn't fill all those. That's exactly right. Guess what part's not showing up every day? Your heart. Let me give you another word for heart. Passion. Energy. Love. The word passion means sacrifice, if you don't know. I'm willing to sacrifice something to get something. I love it enough to sacrifice something. Did you see that? So what do I sacrifice? I got to get up in the morning. I got to get going. I got to get motivated. I got to activate my pre-drive. So sometimes when you don't know your talent, you go get a job. Here's the problem with the job. Your heart's not involved in it. Here's another way of saying it. You don't care about it. How many of y'all have gone to something and you could tell the person had absolutely no care, no pride, no nothing in their job? How many of y'all seen somebody? Okay, you know somebody, right? You can go somewhere today to eat lunch. You can go somewhere to a store, and you can just see somebody, what do we call it? Just going through the motions. Just picking up a paycheck. That's all they're doing. They're there physically, so you can be there physically with the body. I'm here. Like, what do you mean? I'm here. Yeah, but you're not picking up the phone and selling anything. If you're a salesperson, you don't have any passion or enthusiasm for what we're doing. You don't seem to even care about what we're doing. Does that make sense? Now, I have noticed by being an employer and that employs people, many times people quit and stay for 2 years if you let them. Right? Sometimes when I've really pushed people to do something, they give me 2 responses. Some of them say, that's right, I'm going to get better. Some of them, when I push them, they just quit. They're like, I don't want this discomfort. I don't want to go this hard. I'm out. And they'll actually go find work or employment that's easier. So they'll say, I don't want to work that as hard as Coach Burt works. I want what Coach Burt has. Like, I'd like to have a private jet. I'd like to have a big lodge. I'd like to drive a nice car. But I don't want to sacrifice like he does to have it. Does that make sense? So they live over here, typically bitch about what they have. Man, I don't make enough money. Oh my God, it's so hard. I can't pay my bills. I don't like the car I'm driving. And I'm over here going, man, I was a high school basketball coach making $25,000 a year. All you got to do is sacrifice a little bit, right? Get up, go get it, have a good attitude, show up, help people. Now, nowhere does it say it's going to be easy. Y'all read a book, somebody read a book, say it's going to be easy? Right? Read the Bible, right? You read the Bible, nowhere in that book does it say life's going to be easy. It actually tells you the exact opposite. Life's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of toil, sacrifice. If you study any of the characters in the Bible, they all worked, right? Look at King Solomon, everything he built. Look at all the people. Okay, so somewhere along the way, we got in our mind that work is going to be, we're going to wake up, right? It's going to be easy. Now, just because I love doing what I do every day, does that mean it's easy? No. See, it's not easy. I got to go out and get clients. I got to do videos. I got to get on planes and go places. You got to raise capital, right? Which is a business I'm getting in now because I'm trying to build a greatness factory. Like it. Nowhere along the line we said it's going to be easy. So if we get a job though, we've got, if we're here physically but we're not there mentally. How would I, if I was observing you, how would I know if you really were dialed in mentally with your work? What would be an indicator?
You got a lot of energy.
Got energy.
Excited.
Focus. Here's another word, you're curious. If you're a sales guy, you're watching sales material, right? You're reading sales books. You're listening to sales podcasts. You're hungry. So typically when I'm interviewing people, I ask them a question, what are you reading right now? What podcasts are you listening to? Who are you studying? See, that's an indicator to me that you're interested, okay? Because interested people are reading, studying, growing. They're not stagnant, okay? So now, ideally though, we come over here and we find our talent first. And this right here, this little line right here is actually a distribution channel. Okay? This is a distribution channel. Guess what we're distributing? Our talent. Through our work. See, now work is becoming a necessary component to the distribution of a talent. We distribute our talent through our work, and we see over here, somebody has a problem. And we actually take our talent and we solve their problem. And that is where monetization takes place. Monetization means the exchange of money for value. Okay? So when I got a problem and you use your talent to solve my problem, then I give you money. Okay? And we could call this a vocation versus an occupation. Okay? And that would be voice. You know another word for vocation? Calling in life. I have found my voice. I am doing what I have been called to do. This is me distributing my talent. Now, who are the highest paid people in our society? Salespeople. That's exactly right. Artists. Athletes. Entertainers. Okay? Salespeople. Entrepreneurs. People that create opportunities for people. Right? When you think about athletes, artists, and entertainers, I want you to think about this. This is the example I always use. How many of you have paid to go see an artist perform? Almost everybody. If you've ever been to a concert, you have paid to watch somebody perform. Guess what you're paying to watch them do? Work. They're working. That's their job. Right? Okay? And you know, I got a place downtown Nashville right close to the Ryman. And every week people come to the Ryman and perform. And people from all over the world come in, pay money to watch somebody work for typically an hour to 2 hours. They work for an hour to 2 hours. Now, how many hours did they have to play to be able to get on a stage and perform for just 2 hours? Sometimes 10 years, 15 years. Taylor Swift started singing when she was 4 or 5 years old. See the videos of her running around with a little guitar trying to sing. She was in a little contest. A lot of people started singing in church. A lot of the artists, they started singing very early in life. Very seldom do you see a person that started later when it comes to that. Kenny Chesney didn't start singing until he was in college. Luke Combs didn't start performing until he was in college. But very seldom do you see a person that didn't start real early that becomes real big. Okay? Now, what am I telling you this? You're like, well, I'm not an artist. I can't sing. I can't either. But you do have a talent. And you can distribute your talent through your work. Now, here's the deal. If you have a very little skill, okay, then you make very little money. If you solve very small problems in the world, you make very little money. Okay? See, there's a direct correlation here. The more you find, so think of this, the package is this. We got to find our talent, step 1. We got to package this talent, step 2. We got to market this talent, step 3. And then we have to monetize this talent. And there's a cycle in here of refinement. That means a long cycle of practice. So we figure out this is our talent. We refine that talent. It means we get better and better and better and better and better and better and better through practice, refinement of the talent. Packaging is taking the talent and packaging it up. Then we market and promote it. Then we make money with it. Okay? Now, what if you never find this part? Okay? See, Dwight has a tax business, right? But it really can do more things than that. Yes? Okay. So here's the deal. If it's just a tax business, there's lots of tax businesses. Okay? Now I'm a business owner. Okay? And I was thinking about this last night, Dwight. Every day, because of the size of the deals I'm doing, every day there's different complexities. There's complexities, right? How do I raise capital? How do I structure these deals? How do I write them up? What do the investors get? What do I get? You understand what I'm saying? What are the tax implications? Man, I'm also doing this deal over here while I'm doing this deal. Does that make sense? There's complexities to running a business. Okay? Somebody just doing my taxes at the end of the year is just one problem that I have. It ain't the only problem. And the bigger you get, the more complexity there is. Everybody with me? So when you think about what your talent is, so I think about, this is how money changes hands. I think about who can help me solve this problem. Who can I call? Who can break this down? Who can give me sound advice? Who will answer their phone? In today's world, it's like, who will just answer their phone so they can just talk and solve this problem? Right? So if Dwight says, yes, I do own a tax business, and yes, we do people's taxes, but we are really very highly skilled at solving these complexities for business owners. Right? Now, that's a much bigger play because there's a lot of business owners that have a lot of complexities other than just their taxes. You follow me?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Now, if he says, this is what I can do. I'm ultra talented at solving complexities as it relates to money, the usages of money, the tax implications of money. Now, if he knows that is his talent, now what's the next step for him? That's right. Now, see, I don't know that. All I know is he owns a tax business. Right? So it's up to him to figure out, how do I package this up? And what is packaging again? Okay, John, you're trying to figure this out too, right? Because if packaging is anything the consumer can feel, touch, taste, see, packaging is, how do I know that Dwight can do all of these things? Because if I don't know, what's the likelihood of me calling him? Everybody see that? See, you've got a good mentor in Perez, because Perez really has a very broad-based knowledge, right, of money, how it works, the velocity of money, all these things. This is very, very important. Okay? And so, but I didn't know that for many years about David Perez. I just thought he owned a Liberty tax place. So until I got to know him and he got in our tycoon program, and I started traveling around the world with him, having intimate conversations with him, I had no idea the dude was that talented. No idea, right? I just thought this dude owns franchise. He's obviously successful at owning franchises because he's got 8 or 9 of them or whatever. That's all I knew about him. Now, why would I call him to solve these other problems if I don't know that? Everybody see that? Okay? So packaging is everything from videos to images, to packets, to funnels, to, right? This is packaging. It is taking your genius and putting it into something that I can figure out how you can help me. Everybody see that? Okay? Now, I've been saying this for years, and nobody's ever done it. So you'll do it at some point. The other night, I was looking on the Harvard executive management courses. Harvard does these executive management courses. Okay? And so I'm looking on there because I'm trying to plan what I'm going to learn in 2022. So I'm sitting there deciding what coaching programs I'm going to be in, what specific things I want. One is negotiation. I want to get much stronger in negotiating because now I'm starting to negotiate much bigger deals. And I've never had any formal coaching in that other than me studying Chris Voss's work, which to me is still novice. Reading somebody's book, folks, is not studying something, okay? I mean, you can call it studying if that's what you want to do. Watching me on YouTube is not studying me. Okay, and that's what a lot of people think. I can just watch him on YouTube every morning and I'm getting coached by him. No, you're not getting coached by me watching YouTube videos, okay? When I want to learn something, I go straight to the source. And I want to kind of sit at the master's feet and watch and learn and study. And I'm willing to pay the money to do it, right? So I'm on there looking for what courses do I want to go and study at the Harvard Executive Management School, right? And so I'm looking for negotiation because they have a course on negotiation. If I was a real estate agent, okay, I would go pay the money to go to the Harvard Business School of Negotiation. I would come back to my market and I would run around and tell everybody, I'm the only agent in this market that has ever gone through the Harvard Business School of Negotiation. Now, who do you want representing you on a deal? You want a poodle or a pit bull? See, because when I go to the Harvard Business School of Negotiation, you better believe I'm going to put it out there. Okay, I'm going to the Harvard Business School of Negotiation, folks. I'm going to Harvard. Like, I don't really, most of the universities are very liberal, but I don't get caught up in that. I'm going to learn something, right? To me, it raises your person of interest score. So you do things to raise your person of interest score. That's packaging. I would package myself up as, man, I'm a stone cold killing machine. There ain't nobody had the training I've had. Like, why do Navy SEALs become Navy SEALs? They've had elite training. Right? Like I'm talking to Rob O'Neill about coming and doing something here with me at the hunting club. And, I mean, he went through 400 missions as a Navy SEAL. Killing bin Laden was just one of them. Like, it's the one that made him famous. But he actually went to 400 other missions where he went and got bad people. The dude's a stone cold killer, man. Like, literally. Okay. Now, here's my point. He has access to specialized training other people ain't had access to. Yes or no? Green Berets, Special Forces, Navy SEALs. So why do they get put up on a pedestal more than just the average person that goes through the military? Because they've had unique, specialized training. Everybody with me? So here's the deal. It's a marker that the world understands. Oh, you had special training. Like the other day I was looking at a property in Gatlinburg, and the wife of this person, I said, well, what do you guys do? She said, well, my husband was a Green Beret. He's a little dude about this big, my size. And he was real calm and quiet. And I'm thinking, man, this little dude's a little killing machine. Right? But once she said that, how do you think his status went up in my mind? It's like, oh, man, you went through Green Beret training? You're a Green Beret? See, like we immediately had a connection. Because I'm like, man, I'm coaching some people that were Navy SEALs and working with some people that were Navy SEALs and Special Forces. And then we started talking about it. Then we had a connection to each other, but it immediately raised his status. Okay? So when you're thinking about this concept of visioneering your business, the reason, before we get to the part about how do you design your business around your deal for 2022, you first need to figure some things out. Here's the question. What do you want to do? What are you trying to do in 2022? Okay? What are you trying to do? Okay? Now, so I'm showing you this to show you what problems you have. Problem for some of you is you don't really know what your talent is. So the market's looking at you like what? You're a commodity. What is a commodity? I can get you anywhere. I can probably get you cheaper. You're just not that good. Everybody see that? You're just not that good. I can't figure out what problem you would solve. Can't figure out why I'm give you money. Can't figure out why I'd give it to you versus somebody else. Right? So that's the first problem you have. Second problem is you found it, but you haven't refined it, so you're still very average. Okay? Third problem is you don't know how to package it, which is all this stuff right here. That's why I push people to 2 Market Media, because 2 Market Media helps you package your talent. That's what they do, right? They help me figure out what it is I had. They help me put it into a framework. They help me figure out how to talk about it. What they really did, when I went to them and I said, man, I know I got talent. I just don't know how to package it up. I don't know how to put it all together. And that's what they help me do. Okay? Then you got to figure out how to market it. This is the area I need the most help. Me personally, is I got to learn the game of marketing. How do the Facebook ads work and Instagram, and what do I need to say on TikTok? I don't even know. I just get on there and say something. You understand what I'm saying? But even being on there and saying something's better than nothing. Yes or no?
I want to see you get on there and dance.
Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so foreign and awkward to me. Okay? And I only really dance after at least 4 Moscow Mules. So my point is, this is an area I know I got to get better at in my business. Okay? So if you're out there and you're watching this and you say, man, I'm really talented, people that are watching online, well, maybe you don't have a talent problem, you got a marketing problem. Maybe you got an articulation problem. Maybe you don't know how to articulate your value. Right? Like, I'd be interested to see how do you package this up so you can explain it properly to business owners? This is what I can really do for you. And what would business owners pay to be able to call you and talk through these things? Right? And you become a little coach to them. Because that's what they need. They need somebody to play pitch and catch. I had a strategist for several years, and I paid the guy $2,500 a month just to talk to him. And we typically talk once a month, and I'd bring my 3 biggest problems. I'd say, man, I got 3 big problems. Trying to raise money for the Greatness Factory, don't know how to do it. I'm trying to scale my coaching company. Can't figure out how to do it. I'm trying to figure out how to hire 7 more employees. Don't know how to do it. And he was literally a strategist. He would just sit there and say, I've listened to your problems. And when we met, he'd say, here's what you need to do. And I'd be like, boom. That was valuable. Not one time did I ever say, man, why am I paying this dude $2,500? Never. He was always just coaching me and guiding me, but not the way I coach people. It was literally, I gave him my problems, and he gave me the solutions of those problems. Right? Now, he went through Vanderbilt, executive education. He had a great business mind. He understood numbers much better than I do. You see what I'm going with this? Like, he brought something to the table I don't have. And so I exchange money with him every month. Okay? Now, so monetization. Now, let's get to the good part, because that's the foundation work. I can't help you design your business in 2022 until you know some of these things, because you don't even know what you want to do. Sure, you want to make more money. Everybody does. But you're not clear. You're not clear enough. So I always start with one simple question. You guys know what that question is. What do you want to do? Okay, if you ask me that question, it's build out divisions that solve problems for people. It's only coach people in places I want to coach. It's leverage the networks I've built over the last 20 years. It's build passive income. It's get my company to a certain revenue number. Everybody see that? Like, I'm pretty clear in what I want to do. Okay? So I got that part down. If you don't have that part down, you need to spend some time with you. And just put up the top, what do I want to do? Okay? Then we move to the big 4 questions. And the big 4 questions are this. Let's go back to this kind of circular framework. What do you love doing? Out of everything you could do, what do you personally love doing? Okay? That's a big question here. There's a passion. There's an energy. Okay? I'll use Eric White down there, for example. Eric is feeling called into the ministry, but he don't really know if he wants to be a pastor. You understand what I'm saying? He's trying to figure out how we can cross over business and church. He believes there's a market there. I wrote a book called The Accountable Church that we've never really done anything with. I'm like, take that book and figure out how we can go into that world and make money. And you can keep a percentage of it. If I have him over here selling this, but he's real passionate about this, right? But passion don't pay the bills, man. Go down to the grocery store and say, I got a bunch of passion in my back pocket. Go to the gas station and say, man, can I pay with some passion today? See, my point is, a lot of people think, man, I'm just going to be passionate about something, but I'm going to be broke. I'm passionate and I'm broke. Okay? Passion ain't the only part of this equation, folks.
Starving artist.
Yeah. And it's a shame to be a starving artist when there's artists making millions of dollars. Okay? I was coaching a young lady down in Nashville who wanted to be a country music star. And man, her mindset was so screwed up of generational thinking that I couldn't even get her to understand. I'm like, you're never going to become big thinking like this. Never. Like, you're going to be playing down on Broadway forever. Is that what you want to do? And I would give her counsel and she wouldn't listen. I'm like, I know how to make money. I know how to package concepts. That's all this is. Taking your talent and packaging it. But it was so scripted in her. Everybody was against her. Every day's a fight. Everybody hates me. This is so hard. Like, this is her language. I'm like, girl, you ain't never going to make it big. Because I guarantee you big-time artists don't talk like this. They don't think like this. So I finally said, look, I'm done. I'm done helping you. I'm done giving you my time. I was doing it just because I liked her and thought I could help her. I'm like, I'm done helping you. You don't want any help. You're going to be stuck down here forever. Don't say I didn't tell you, because here's the deal. She loves something, but she didn't figure out how to make money doing it. Okay? And this is called need. Okay? This is a need. So we love doing this, but what problem do we solve? And for whom do we solve that problem? Okay? It's like I love doing it. We got to figure this out. So I'm listening to a book on the way back from the mountains the other day, and somehow convinced my wife that I would drive my own car and she would be in the car with the kids. Now, that's a pretty good deal, right? We couldn't get everybody in both cars because we took grandmothers and nannies, and so she said, we can't get everybody in one car, so you're going to drive your own car. And I'm like, boy, I hate that. I don't know how. I hate to sacrifice like this, but I hate to be by myself for 4 hours. But I'm like, I'll do it because I'm a team player. And so I'm listening to these books on the way back, these audio books. And I'm listening to a book called Super Founders. And it's about people who created billion-dollar companies. But it's data-driven, which means it's studied how old were they, how many companies have they owned, how much money did they raise, did they have a creative person and a technical person, were they single people? You understand where I'm going? Like, it's really fascinating to me because it breaks down, it takes all these billionaires and it says the average age of a billionaire is this age, this is when they started a company, this is how many ideas they had, this is how many times they failed before they figured it out, right? So I'm listening to it and I'm having these revelations, and the revelation is all of these people created billion-dollar companies because they solved a problem. All they did was solve a big problem in the world. That's it. Uber solved a big problem. Airbnb solved a big problem. Right? Some of the scientists create things that you know, I mean, imagine if a person that comes up with the cure for cancer. Imagine how much money they'll make. Right? Think about that. Imagine a person that solves the dementia problem. How much money will they make by solving that problem? See what I'm saying? And one of them was a scientist who had created $2 billion companies. And he got in the lab every day and just, right? That's what he loved doing, coming up with a solution. But here's what he said: I don't want to run the company. So I created the companies and structured the companies where I was the founding chairman. I had the idea. I got founder stock, right? And I spent 30% of my time on that company. I hired a whole team of people to do it. And in that book, he talks about, here's what I went and did. I went and got this board of directors. I got these people to run the company. I raised this much capital. And I just spent my time doing what I love doing every day, which is coming up with solutions to problems. Look at how he structured the company. around what? What he loved doing. He didn't say, man, I'm going to get in there and be the CEO and I'm going to run it. The truth is, I'm a great coach. I'm a lousy manager. I'm probably one of the worst managers in the world. I hate managing people. I hate reminding people you need to make X number of calls. Hey, you need to show up on time. Hey, you need to look like somebody. Hey, you need to. I hate it, like with a passion. But I'm a great coach. Somebody who's hungry. Chris just joined my team. If he's hungry, man, I'll coach him. He'll tell you, I'll just call him out of the blue, coach him, listen to his phone calls. Like, I love coaching people. But I would hate to have to say, Chris, come on, man, get it together. You understand where I'm going? Like, I hate managing people. I recognize that I'm not good at that. I'm good at teaching people how to coach. I'm good at coaching. So in my company, that's really what I want to do. I want to coach, promote, and create. That's it. Create concepts that make money, coach people, and promote. Those are 3 things I want to do. If I ask you today, what's the 3 things you want to do? What do you want to do every day? Okay? All right? Second piece, so what do I love? What are we really good at? So I asked this to my team the other day. What do you think we're really good at? What do you personally think we can do better than other people? And we wrote down a whole list of things that we're good at, right? And then I said, okay, out of this list, what are we the best at? Right? And I let the team say, man, we're really good at this, we're really good at this, we're really good at this. And then this is what we start to market. So the super founder concept, the revelation I had is I was just asking myself, man, what problem am I uniquely qualified to solve for people? And I said, man, I know how to coach. I know how to package concepts. So that's why I rolled out the 90-day promotion I did. I said, man, I'm going to coach 10 people who want to be a coach for 90 days. Right? It's $5,000. I'm going to coach you, mentor you, small group. I'm going to personally mentor you right up until the Michael Burt School of Speaking, Coaching, and Publishing. That whole product, that whole 90-day deal came out of me listening to that book going, what can I help people with? Oh, I can help people with this. Okay? That's what you need to be thinking. Now, the 4th piece of this is conscience. Conscience. What are we supposed to be doing? Okay? If you're supposed to be working with a certain group of people, if you're supposed to be volunteering your time over here, if you're supposed to be using the business to help these people, right? This is the whole reason I started Success School for Kids. Now I'm in there tinkering with it, right? Like a little tinkerer. Like I started off doing boot camps, 1-day boot camps, $300, 50 kids. Then I observed us do 2 of those, and I go, you know what? I don't think we could change the kids' behavior in 1 day. I didn't coach people for 1 day when I was a high school coach. I really need to coach these kids for 90 days. We really need a structure that coaches 30 kids for 90 days. Weekly assignments, weekly sessions, follow-up, and they come to 3 boot camps, right? And that's Success School, right? And there's a tuition to go to that Success School, okay? And what if the tuition's $4,500 and you get 30 kids at $4,500, which is $1,500 a month? Now you're getting into more money here, right? Than 50 kids at $300. Because the truth is, 50 kids at $300 ain't gonna change their life. 90 days of an intense program. Like I was thinking about my daughter. She goes to gymnastics 3 days a week. She ain't gonna get any better going 1 day. She ain't gonna get better going 1 hour, right? Well, she just went to 1 gymnastics camp. So I'm like, why is our Success School not, right? And we start one in January, then we start a new pod in February, then we start, next thing you know, we have 500 kids. Now 500 kids at $4,500 a kid, now we're making some money. So now we're doing something good. Now we're doing something we're supposed to. Now something we love. I'm not doing the Success School. Kelly Eisler is, who's in our coaching program. She's running those Success Schools. She gets a percentage of that money, right? And we're good at it because I did it for years, and it's solving a problem. Everybody see that? Because one of the things I told you I was going to show you today is how we just create strategic partnerships and make money. Kelly Eisler was a former teacher. She came to me and said, I want to run your Success Schools. And I said, sure, you're going to get a percentage of the money. But you're in charge of everything. I will come in and teach every now and then. I'll promote it like crazy. It'll be my content. I'll write the curriculum because that's what I love doing. You will run these little schools. Everybody see that? Okay? You should do this with your team. Right at the intersection of these things, guys, is what I call voice. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We have found our voice. This is what we're the best in the world at. Okay? Now, last piece. Because these are the questions I'm asking myself going into 2022. What do I love doing? What's another question I'm asking, William? What do I hate doing? What am I not doing in 2022 that I did this year? That's exactly right. So I'm like, why did we do that? You know the reason we did it sometimes? To produce revenue. Because I have an override. See, because of my belief that not everything's going to be easy, when we stagnate in sales or we're not selling anything, I come up with some kind of idea to make money. But many times, that idea that I came up with is not a good idea. It's a good idea, but it ain't a good idea. Because it actually creates more work. See, me coming up with an idea to mentor 10 people is going to create more work for me. Right? Now, I'm going to do it because it's December. I think it solves the problem. Right? And my override is, man, we're going to hit this. We got to hit that number. Whatever we got to do to hit that number, we're going to do it. People ask me, why would you do things you don't want to do? Because I'm committed to hit my number every month. Everybody see that? Some people just go, no, didn't hit it. Sorry. I coach a lot of mortgage people that are here watching right now, and I guarantee they say, man, rates went up. People are not buying houses. Refinance boom's gone away. We're just not going to hit our numbers this month. Folks, that ain't how you need to be thinking. You would never catch Coach Burt thinking like that. Coach Burt is whatever it takes to hit that number. I'm willing to do. Okay? And I'm telling you, that one thing will separate you from a lot of people in our world. Because most people say, well, that number's negotiable. It's December. I typically don't hit my number in December, so that's okay. I say it's not okay. I am not negotiating down my value. I'm not negotiating down my targets for nothing. Okay? Now, last piece of this equation. I'm going to show you something we're doing in 2022 that I hope I'm going to illustrate this for one reason. I want you to be thinking about what's your version of what I'm about to show you. All right, money changes hands when? Problem solved. How many of you see problems over and over and over? Same problems. Okay? Jeff Hoffman, who I'm bringing in for the hunting club next year, billionaire, created Priceline. And he created Priceline because he was online with a travel agent one day and he wanted to book a flight at 4 p.m. and he knew there was a 4 p.m. flight. But she tried to sell him a 2 or a 6 because it was higher and the travel agent made more money. He said, ma'am, I know there's a 4 o'clock flight. That's the flight I would like to book. And then she goes, oh, yeah, I didn't see that, right? Well, what she was really trying to do is make more commission. So she was trying to put him into a higher flight, and he knew it, and that irritated him. And he's like, there should be a way a consumer can go online and find all the flights and make a decision on what flight they want and what price they're willing to pay for that flight. And that was the idea of Priceline, which ultimately became Expedia, that he sold for billions of dollars, by the way. So he was just frustrated. He's like, man, surely I should be able to go online, pick my own flight. If I want to buy the cheapest one, I can. If I want to buy the most expensive one, I can. If I want to buy first class, I can. But I should not have to rely on another person to do this. And he created Priceline, which made him a billionaire. Now, so when I started studying Hoffman, okay, because he's going to come do a night here at the hunting club called Dinner with a Billionaire. And the way he thinks about problems at scale will open your mind like you can't imagine. Then he does like a 2-day boot camp in Orlando that I'm going to go to. So if any of you guys want to go with me, he does like a 2-day boot camp on scaling that I think would be very valuable. Because he's the guy who got me started thinking about these big problems. He calls them neglected problems. These are problems that we see over and over and over and over and over. Okay? Raising capital is a problem I see over and over and over, right? How do you do it? Where do you go find the money? Where can we get people? It's a neglected problem, okay? So I started thinking, what are the big problems? How do I take what we've taught this year and what we teach and turn it into a bigger, more scalable play, okay? So I started going, what are problems that we see every single day, okay? Number one, people can't get their people's prey drive activated. But right now, we're just teaching courses on it, boot camps, whatever. I said, what if we certify people? This is where my certification concept comes from. And they're actually little prey drive activators. And a manager can get certified in prey drive so they can go back and teach it to their companies. Okay? That's a problem. Number two, people do not know how to explain their services. So what if we call that EOS mastery? There again, we go out and we certify people. So when you come in, say, man, I'm really struggling with my EOS. I really want to get this right. Man, we got 3 certified instructors. They're going to come out and they're going to help you get your certificate. They're going to help you get this EOS down. They're going to stay with you for 90 days. And they're going to work with you on nothing but your EOS. Okay? Then I said, getting leads is a problem. I hear this every single day. How many of y'all heard that before? Can't get enough leads. Don't have enough leads. I'm going to create a division called Revenue Kings. And Revenue Kings is there basically to use my selling system to help you create leads and sell. Create revenue. Then I said, man, follow-up is always a problem, right? I hear this all the time. What if I create a division called Fanatical Follow-up? Okay? And instead of, we can teach it to you or we can do it for you. Meaning we'll just take your leads and work them. And I guarantee you we'll outsell what you're currently doing. So if you're generating leads, we have a little team of dedicated people. They follow up on your leads. They use my coaching, and they close leads for you. And there's a monthly fee plus a percentage of the deals. Then I thought, man, people are terrible at engaging with their clients after they get them, right? So then we're going to create a little division called Acres of Diamonds. This group does nothing but engage with your past clients and your client base. Okay, then I said, man, what's another one I got? Oh, people want to be a person of interest. So I'm going to call this the Famous Factory. Okay, now, these are 6 divisions. Oh yeah, we need one for managers because managers can't go to the people, attack and conquer. Now, what if I told you I'm not going to be delivering all this material, that we're actually going to have other people doing it? Okay, so we're going to do, so I went to Judge Graham, who created that attack and conquer system. I said, man, I want to license this from you. And every person we get will pay you. We're going to do boot camps, workshops. I want to use your online system of attack. I don't want to recreate this stuff. You got an attack and conquer system. I'd like to use it. We're going to sell it. So when people, if Chris is on the phone with the manager, says, man, I can't get my team together. I don't know how to build the culture. Oh, great. We got an attack and conquer system. Okay, we got boot camps on it, online program on it, certified instructors on it. Chris would push them to that. If they say, man, I got a revenue problem, man, I can't get my revenue up, which is what somebody told me yesterday. Oh, great, we got a division called Revenue Kings. And that group basically helps you generate the leads. We know how to do it. We know how to sell people. We've sold millions of dollars. We're going to help you do it. Oh, man, gosh, I got all these leads, but I can't follow up and close them. Oh, great, we got a division called Fanatical Follow-up. And we're going to follow up on those leads for you, close them. It's a monthly fee plus, right? Man, I want to be a person of interest. Oh, okay, great. You're going to go through my courses, and then you're going to go to 2 Market Media. 2 Market Media is going to help you become known and famous. Now, what have I done here, Cameron? That's right. See, this is more scalable. What I'm really doing, if you're watching this online, what I'm really doing is partnering with people, right? Acres of Diamonds, a company called 5-4 is going to handle this for us. They specialize in customer engagement. They specialize in working and reworking your clients. Does that make sense? So here's the deal. These are all either affiliate partnerships with me or licensing deals where they get a piece, I get a piece. This is much more scalable than the way we've done it in the past. And I'm showing you this because I'm trying to solve the same problem you are for your business. How do I see, some of you think, man, I got to go out and get 100 employees. Man, I don't want to hire employees. I don't even like people. I like being by myself. Okay? Hey, trust me, some days I don't like people. Okay, I worked out here at the lodge last week by myself. I thought I was in heaven, man. I thought this is the best thing in the world. Nobody to talk to. Nobody look at me. Nobody ask me for anything. Just me in this lodge. And but here's the deal, because I'm an introvert sometimes, and I actually like being to myself, right? Because I'm with people all the time. So my point is, I'm sitting there thinking, Cameron, how do I solve this problem? Well, here's things we're already good at. We already understand this. I've already created the content for this. What's the next step? See, you're thinking I got to go hire a bunch of people. I'm thinking, no, go partner with the best people in the world. Let them do it. Right? And charge for it. Everybody see that? Like this is, you could be doing the same thing. See, for years, my agent in New York City tried to get me to do affiliate partnerships. He's like, gosh, you're losing so much money. You're missing so much money. I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, he's like, dude, this is how you make millions of dollars without doing all the work. You partner with people and you let them do the work. And you just push people to your partners. It took me 4 or 5 years to ever figure this out. And finally I did it with a few people. Had a few duds that I had to get rid of. But man, when you partner with really good people and you know they're going to deliver and they give you a percentage of that back to you, man, it's a great relationship. You don't have to do all the work. And I know some people watching this on here, they're real estate agents, they're mortgage originators, they're insurance agents, and they're thinking, man, I made the same amount of money the last 5 years, and man, I'm so sick and tired of making this same amount of money. But I don't know who to hire, and I don't know who to go get, and I don't even want to do it. And you're just stuck. And you're stuck until you go, I don't have to go have all these employees. I can. Or I can just figure out ways to take what we're doing through partnerships with people. Okay? So this is what I'm doing in 2022. Okay? And I'm doing the boot camps, and I'm doing the coaching, and I'm speaking at things I want to speak at. But we're going to have little divisions of people that do this, or we're partnering with somebody who specializes in it. And they're dying to do it, by the way. That's what they love doing. If you told me, Coach, you got to run a division where all you do is engage and re-engage with your current clients over and over and over every week, that's what you do, I'd be like, oh my gosh. Like, I love them, but that's not what I want to do every week. There's other parts I love of the business. But if you said, there's a little company out there that loves doing this. They actually wake up, thrive on it, they studied it. They know how to create long-term value of the client. They know how to engage with your people. That's what they love doing. Okay, let them do it. Okay, so the purpose of today's course, guys, was to get, number one, I needed to open your mind a little bit. As much as I love 2021, I want 2022 to be so much better, because now I'm starting to really figure out what I love doing. How to structure a whole business around your talent. Does that make sense? Dan Sullivan called it unique ability. That's who I was coached by for 3 years. And he pounded in us, find your unique ability, and then listen to this part, structure your whole life. Not just your business. Your whole life around that ability. That make sense? That means I can take my talent and coach my daughter's basketball team. I can take it over here in this business. I can take it over here in this business. It's not like, oh, it only works at work. It works everywhere because it's your talent. Now, if you can structure the business around your talent. Now, then he taught us how to have a self-managed company. And the self-managed company it's not dependent on you. It runs without you. You bring your talent to it, but you don't have to run it. Like the little scientist that said, I'm going to be the founding chairman, and I'm going to spend 30% of my time here, but I'm not going to run this company. Somebody else is going to run it. That loves running it. I'm going to sprinkle my little fairy dust on it. My buddy Cody Askins is young, but he's got a lot of savvy. He's been raised very well, high integrity. And he said, I used to lead the team meetings on Monday. I used to lead the team meetings in my company. And he said, man, I was terrible. I come in on Monday all jacked up and fired up, and I was mad because I wanted to do so much. And he said, man, I was terrible at leading the team meetings. So I just hired another guy to lead team meetings. I just took another guy that's really good at it. He's upbeat, he's positive, and he leads the team meetings. And I just kind of come in and say a few things because he said, I figured out when I lead the team meetings, they were always negative. See, my coach calls it fantasizing and catastrophizing. right? On the weekend, you fantasize about how great the business is going to be. And on Monday, you figure out it's a total catastrophe. It don't never work out the way you thought it was going to be. Everybody's going to show up motivated. And we're going to go conquer the world. And you show up, and everybody, two's late, and three's half asleep. And this one's mad, and this one can't get anything done. And then you catastrophize. Then it's like, oh, this is miserable. Like on the weekend, it was beautiful. Right? And this is life, man. Reality sets in. Like, this ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. Now, let me give you a few things that we have going on. So as you go, and thank you to all the people that are online. I'm doing an event this Saturday here at the lodge for the hunting club. If you'd like to come, we probably got 50 to 60 people that are coming. I've got the Wes Cook Band. Wes is a close personal friend of mine, been for many years. Great artist is going to perform. It'll be a meet and greet. We got heavy hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and music. So it'll be fun. So if you want to come, if you're interested in the hunting club, I would just tell you, if you see me posting these things about the hunting club, it's actually turned out cooler than I thought. I've already got Jeff Hoffman, billionaire, coming in. I've already got Dr. Hotze, who you hear me talk about from Texas, coming in. I'm negotiating right now with Rob O'Neill, the Navy SEAL that shot bin Laden, for him to come in and do a dinner with the SEAL. Like, it's really cool. I've got a night called Exit Without Exiting, about how to own the company but not run the company. And then there's just monthly mixers and masterminds. So it's just a cool concept. We're already signing members up, so if that's something you're interested in, I do think it'll be a good thing. People are flying in on Saturday from all over the country to be here. Michigan, Florida. Got a guy coming in from Florida that's got 35,000 insurance agents. I mean, these are players that are going to be here. So if you're interested in that, just see me. I'd be happy to talk to you. But basically, it's like a country club for entrepreneurs. There'll be 2 to 3 events every month. You'll know the events in advance. And then there's these special nights every single month. I'm also working on 4 concerts. I've already got Daryl Worley coming in on January 22nd. We're talking to Tracy Lawrence. We're talking to Randy Hauser again, because he was so good. I mean, big time people. So the members will have access to those things, and it used to be like a membership where you come, hang out, you're around other like-minded people. You'll know the schedule in advance. That's what the hunting club is. We actually won't be hunting physically for anything. I know a lot of people have asked me that. Are we going to shoot guns? And okay, nope. So don't want you to shoot my deer. They're part of the show here. Okay. They show up in the morning early and say hi to everybody, and then they go do their thing. So we're hunting for potential. We're hunting for deals. That's the hunting club, okay? So if you're out there and you're interested, then let me know, okay? Question?
What time is that?
6 o'clock. 6, probably to about 10 o'clock. Okay, so it'll be a good night. Like I said, 40, 50, 60 people will be here. Those events are always fun, okay? In January, I've got Person of Interest on the 14th. So if you've never gone through Person of Interest, spend a day, or if you've gone through it, want to go through it again. Every time I teach it, it gets better, and I'm getting clearer on how to become a person of interest in the world. It's a low-ticket event, so if you know people, that's a good event. I've also got a new thing I'm doing, Flip the Switch, for 18 to 30-year-olds. This is, in my opinion, a very neglected decade for a lot of people. Okay, if I would have had coaching, the kind of coaching I offer today, when I was 18 to 30, there's no telling where I would be. Okay, I did not have a business coach. I was going to coaching things, but I was going to like basketball things. I needed a coach to help me figure out my identity, find my voice in life, figure out how to go to the marketplace, figure out how to win. I've hired people that have been 20 to 30 years old that, man, have some talent, but they have not had the work ethic to work with a guy like me. They've not had the discipline to work with a guy like me, and they've just not had the engine. And so what happens is they got all this talent, but they really don't know how to play at a high level. One time I hired the captain of the Vanderbilt football team, and who was so smart. And man, I came to work one day and he's asleep on the couch. And I said, Archie, man, you can't come to work and sleep. And I'm like, man, do you not know how to show up every day? He's like, no. He's like, when I was a football player, they told me what time to eat. They told me what time to show up at practice. They gave me tutors for my classes. Like, they actually enabled him to fail. So he leaves college as the captain at Vanderbilt, goes right out into the world and had no work ethic whatsoever. And I'm thinking, man, I'm getting a real stud here from Vandy. I was really getting a real dud here from Vandy. So here's my point. That 18 to 30-year-old group, if I had a kid that was 18 to 30, it'd be mandatory they go through this 2 days with me. I'm telling you. Because I'm going to work on voice, discipline. Now, a lot of times the kids ain't going to want that. Because I wrote the copy for this the other day, and I'm like, man, ain't none of them going to show up. Because they're going to learn how to do these things. Really, it's somebody saying, you're going to this, man. This is going to be good for you. Okay? When I was 25, I went to a 5-day course on the 7 habits of highly effective people. 25 years old. And I'm telling you, it changed everything in my life. Just absorbing that content and learning those 7 habits literally changed my whole life. And I had to borrow the money to go to that. I didn't have the money. It was $2,500, and I borrowed the money from my mom. And I paid her back in $50 increments, but it totally changed my life, okay? So if you know people that are 18 to 30, that flip the switch is special for them. And I'm going to tackle that, how to really gear up for life, okay? And then couples retreats. We're actually doing a couples retreat here at the lodge in, I think April maybe, or March. We added one at the lodge. We'll probably take 20 to 25 couples. If you've never gone through the couples retreat with us and that's something you want to do, I'm telling you, people walk out of there and they go, I got a vision, I got a plan, I've got alignment. Now we know what we're doing together, okay? So these things are becoming very popular, which is why I'm adding so many to the calendar. They're in Florida or they're here at the lodge. That's a 2-day, typically a 2 or 3-day event with us, and it's just a really powerful thing to get on the same page, okay? Any questions of me? Jack, you got any questions on there?
No.
Okay, I think this is a good class, guys. Okay, hopefully this is valuable for you to think about your future. Okay, so let's just keep plugging in, keep focusing. I am trying to decide what I'm going to do with Monster Producer in 2022, meaning I may shift the format just a little bit. I'm thinking about doing 1 full day a quarter, where you come in once a quarter and go through a heavier day with me, plus there's something monthly, plus there's online access, right? So we're just tweaking it. I'm asking big questions. Is Monday at 4:30 the best time to do the call? You may think, there's a better time for me to do the weekly call, right? So I'm just trying to continually make this a better program for everybody. We have a lot of people that are in it online as well. So just if we put polls out there, just put your feedback in, right? If you think there's a better way that we can do this, all right? All right, you guys have a great day. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.